was great.
That was perfect.
Welcome.
2021, baby.
Ooh, welcome to the new year. Happy New Year's,
Happy New
everyone.
Year. Welcome back to Ghosted with Chris and Paige. I'm your co-host, Paige.
And I'm Chris, and today we're going to be doing some of our own spooky stuff that we've got going on.
Yeah. Let me just say, we ended 2020 with some pretty spooky stuff.
It was, it started getting a little spooky. We stayed at Paige's cousin's house.
Yes, and actually, before we get into
let's even preface it. Yeah.
Just to say, this will be 2 parts.
Ooh.
So this episode will be about our experiences. I know I've talked about my experiences at my cousin's house. I'm a nanny for them, and I've been basically living at their house for the last 6 years. So I've had a lot of experiences, and I know I've brought them up in different episodes, like different situations. So I'll be recapping those and some new stuff. And
then we got some of our own stuff from there too when we went over.
Like last week.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, and in part 2, we will have my cousin Heidi, her husband is my cousin. I just call her my cousin too because it's easier.
It's easy.
We're family.
Peasy. It's fine.
We're fams. She'll come home from work and just be like, "You want a glass of wine?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're family. So yeah. So, oh man.
Where to begin?
So my cousin's house. I know, like as I've said, I've talked about it. Super haunted. Definitely more daily activity than my house. Like my house is haunted. You see a lot more in my house. I feel like at my house, you see a lot more. Their house, you hear a lot more. And
it's
like
more of an, rather than visual, it's auditory type things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up to see how old their house is, but my cousin's been there for like 20 something years. Like,
oh, okay.
He's been there a long time. So, and they've done a lot of renovations on the house. They live in
There's been a lot of work done over the years.
Yeah, especially in the last 6 years, there's a ton of work done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say there's definitely a lot of energy in the house, especially they have 3 kids and a dog and a cat. So like there's a lot of energy happening at all times.
And there's definitely a reason for it to be thriving,
Yeah, there's a lot to feed off of in that house. Like all the energy is just, it's wild. You have 3 kids under the age of 8. So there's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
This house, even before the kids, has always been kind of creepy. Like kind of
what do you
spooky.
mean?
So my cousin is, when I asked him, and I'll see if we can force him into part 2. Just, like start punching him, be like, come on. I've talked about this with him because like I've said, I'm the nanny. Like I've watched their oldest since basically he was born, like since he was only like not even 6 months old.
Since he was a tiny babu.
Yeah, and with their jobs, they've worked late and doing all this stuff. So I've been in their house a lot. And
for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I used to be working at their house like 15 hours a day. Like I'd be putting the kids to bed and like whatever.
Taking care of business.
Taking care of business. Nighttime is the fucking worst. Their house settles a lot. There's a lot of noises that just naturally happen.
Oh my God. The acoustics in this house, I don't know, but you can hear every single pipe tighten and decompress and things going and wood squeaking and every type of thing. Oh my goodness. It would make a man go insane regularly. So it's really the icing on the cake that it's also haunted.
Yeah. And you get a feeling of unease when it's quiet.
It gets too quiet. It gets like a dead quiet and you're just like, you can hear a pin drop. No matter what, no matter how many people are in there, if it's quiet. Because even when me and Paige were there, the dog was there.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. So when I've asked my cousin before, he's like, and I think I've said this before, he's come in with the mail, put it on the table by the door, and when he goes to the kitchen, does whatever he has to do, comes back out, it'll be scattered all over the place. Like it's happened to him like 1 or 2 times, at least from what he's told me. So like, how did that happen? Because like I think one of my first experiences was watching Jacob. He was asleep. He was tiny. He was the only kid at the time that they had. And I heard a little girl's laughter coming from the dark hallway leading upstairs. This baby was 1, a boy, 2, very tiny. And I know like little kids can like, they sound more feminine. Like their voice is like higher, especially for little boys. This was not him. He was sleeping. Like I checked the monitor. Like, he was not up where, like, there's no other explanation. There's no other little kids. I mean,
I hate it.
There is, like, behind their house, but,
Not,
like...
this came from in the house.
This came from in the house, exactly. And I, like, nearly peed myself. I was so scared. I was like, hell no. And it's so dark. It's so dark where they live, because they're at, like, the bottom of a mountain. So, like, there's a lot of trees in the woods and...
Not many street lights.
Yeah, not at all. So, like, no thanks. But yeah, if I could speak. So I've mentioned to him before, I'm like, I think your house is haunted. Like I would hear footsteps of someone like running up the stairs from the basement, and then no one would ever open the door. Terrifying. And the same thing for the stairs where I heard the little girl laughing, like a little girl laugh. You would hear someone running up and down the stairs.
But there was never anyone at the...
No one's ever there. And they do have a cat. And this is the level. I love this cat, BB. They had like back in the day, they had 3 cats, but they got old and passed away. But you hear, sometimes I hear like something run upstairs, and it's the cat. It is the cat. I checked the thing. I know it's the cat running back and forth. But sometimes I'm checking everything, and BB's just still on the bed. BB's
still sprawled out or sleeping.
Yeah. Like, there's no explanation for what this noise is, because it's definitely on the stairs coming down towards me. Like, I've looked before and be like, BB, is that you? And
anyone?
Nothing there. So, like, and I've said this to my cousin. He's like, oh, yeah, I know this house is haunted. But then, like, in recent years, when I bring it up, especially since we started this, he goes, oh, yeah, she thinks it's haunted. I'm like, you agree with me that it's haunted? He's like, yeah, I know. Like, whatever, cuz. But, yeah, so I've definitely had my share. I think it was our episode with Nick Rucci where I talked about the baby monitor, where my baby cousin, their middle child, was asleep, and I heard something on the baby monitor or whatever. I looked at it, and there's like the face of the devil.
Yeah.
There's literally the face of the devil. If I haven't, I'm literally checking the Instagram now. I think I posted it on our Instagram.
I'm almost positive you have.
Right? I think I have too. I'm looking now. Yeah, I posted it on our Instagram. You could scroll through and find it. It's a Snapchat picture, because I took a Snapchat of it, and I circled the devil's face. You look at it, and it looks like there's a devil baby sleeping in a bag. Like, it's grotesque.
It is very
terrifying.
It is very terrifying, and I don't understand it.
Yeah. So, like, we've had that. I've talked about how the kids, like, as of lately, too, I don't know if I've accidentally brought something forward in their house from me investigating it on my own, like, using the apps and stuff. But the little, like, the middle child, Parker, the one night she was crying downstairs because they have the playroom, and I'm like, what's wrong? And I come down and grab her off they have like, what is this called? Like a bunk bed that has a slide. So that's in the playroom. And she's like crying. I'm like, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong? She stares off into the dark corner and she goes, shh, she's sleeping.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, no, I hate that all the time. We're down there and she'll be like, ha, ha, hi. And I'm like, I don't know who you're saying hi to, but hi. I'm like, no, thank you. Or like one time I put on the Ghost Tube app, and it filters through words that we can't necessarily hear. And the 2 girls were playing, and it said innocence. And it was just because it was very cute, and it was a very innocent moment of them playing together. Like, you have a 1-year-old and almost 3-year-old, and it was very sweet. And I was like, oh no, it's intelligent. It knows. It knows. But yeah, we've had instances like that where it's like, she's sleeping, and I've heard like something laugh in the basement before. Nope. I was afraid of their basement for so long. I still am. I run up the stairs, but I do that at my house too. But yeah, the one night, and I'm sure we'll talk, I'll literally talk to Heidi about this next episode, like in part 2. But I was telling her one night about one of the many paranormal experiences I've had there. And all of a sudden, and the kids are asleep upstairs. Actually, I think it was just Jacob, because I don't think she had Parker yet. And I hear, all of a sudden, we both hear what sounds like someone run down the stairs, like heavy. Like, this is not a cat running down the stairs. This is a full-grown man running down the stairs, and we both run and no one's there. Like, boom, 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 like down the full, like 15, 20 steps that are there.
And no one's there at the landing?
No one's there. Yeah, no one. And then it's hilarious because we're like, what the hell is that? We're talking about it. And all of a sudden her friend stops by unannounced and throws open the front door, and we scream bloody murder. Because like, ah! Like, what is that?
Yeah, you're all on edge and everything.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that night. And their friend who, he's a musician like Heidi. So he stayed at their house when he's like in between gigs or stuff. And he's also said, like, he's felt stuff in that house. I actually, Heidi just told me that he saged the house once for them.
Oh, good call.
Because he was like, let's clear this energy.
Let's make sure that this isn't...
Let's just open some windows. Oh, man. So, like, we've definitely had our fair share of things happen in that house. So, last week when they asked me to house sit because of a family emergency and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ghost hunt. I hope you don't mind. And my cousin's like, I don't care. He's like, I'll set up. He knows I'm afraid of the basement and how it's haunted.
Yeah.
So he set up an air mattress for us in the basement. I refuse to sleep down there. They still don't understand that I slept upstairs the entire weekend. Like, they don't understand I slept on the couch with the dog. Even though they went to all the trouble setting everything up for us, I was like, yeah, I'm not staying down there.
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Thank you, though.
Especially it's a big house. Like, I'd rather be upstairs with the dog
than on the bottom floor. No, I get it.
Yeah, especially their dog, literally the best dog in the world. And I have a dog and I love my dog to pieces, but their dog is literally the best dog. He's such a good boy. And his back legs don't work, and he's such a sweet boy, so he can't come downstairs with us.
Poor buddy.
He's the best. He's literally the best dog in the world. But he can't come downstairs, so I'm like, I'll just stay up here and watch him, and he'll be fine, and it'll be fine, I hope.
Everything will be fine, and I won't get haunted, and I'm not going to bring anything back.
Yeah, we'll get into that, too. So yeah, so my cousins asked us to house sit. We were like, of course, because content, baby, 2021, we need that stuff. And you've only stayed one night.
Yep. Yep.
I'll start off by saying Chris didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep at all.
Single wink.
No, I was too terrified. I don't know. Something about that house made me feel so uneasy the whole time. I just could not do it. I spent 2 hours combing the dog.
Literally, he looked like a brand new boy.
He was nice and shiny. It was delightful. That boy is so floofy.
And he was so happy.
But I could not, for the life of me, get a wink of sleep. I tried everything, and it was not it. No.
And I got maybe 2.5 hours of sleep, but that wasn't straight. It was in 20-minute increments throughout the entire night. Because we tried, so we're up, we get there, it's like 9 o'clock, and we're like, yeah, we watch TV, we're hanging out with the dog, we hear some noises, we're like,
let's load up the ghost app.
Yeah, we're like, well, and I was kind of freaked out. I was kind of being a little pussy, and I was like, all right, maybe we'll just wait till it's light out. Like, let's just get through the first night, then we'll investigate, because I have to be here a whole, 4 days.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing fun about finding a place that has a lot of activity, and then you're like, oh, 3 more days of this.
And I've never stayed at their house by myself before, so it was just odd. Especially, like I've said, I've always felt off there when it's silent or at night. Because at night, it's quieter.
Yeah.
So it was bad. So we get there, we're hanging out, I pussy out. I'm like, we'll just wait till the morning. I don't want to go in this basement right now. I'm too anxious. I think we walked in and it was just the energy changed. Mm-hmm. Like when I walk in there at 6 a.m., I'm fine and dandy. I'm turning on the lights. I'm doing what I got to do.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Get the house up and ready for school, for work, for everything. And at night, it's totally, yeah, no. The energy was just so different.
Not even crickets.
Yeah, and it's just so dark. And I've been okay, so when I would watch the kids, late at night, one night someone, I don't know if they were trying to break in, but they were creeping around into the yard and in the driveway. And luckily we had motion lights on and scared them off. But this person wasn't a delivery person looking for someone's house. This person was casing the place because there was only one car in the driveway and all the lights were dimmed. You couldn't tell from outside that the lights were kind of on.
Yeah. And
so it wasn't until the motion lights came on that I noticed, and the dog growling, and this dog never growls, that someone's outside. This has happened to me way too many times in my life. So
so you just know.
I'm a paranoid person. I'm the first person to admit it. I know I'm paranoid. Enough things have happened in my life where I'm going to be on the lookout.
You're just going to be on edge all the time.
Yeah. And I trust my gut is never wrong. It is almost literally, I have a good sense of this stuff. So as soon as the dog was growling, I'm like, shit. So, and to preface, I don't know if I said this wasn't this last weekend. This was in the past. So now, I've had this experience. The house energy's changed. I'm freaking the hell out. And you're completely, you are not usually a person who's off put that easily. But the energy change was just that big that you were just like, I can't sleep.
Nope.
I'm freaked the fuck out.
Nope. I just noped right out of there. A whole big jug of nope.
Yeah. It was really funny because I think it was like my first 20 minutes I fell asleep. I woke up because I felt someone staring at me. It was just you.
Yeah, no, that time it was just me. I was just like,
He was just like literally staring at me, and I'm like, I'm already scared. Why are you staring at me? Why aren't you asleep? And then like, so like the house makes a lot of noise, like we said. A lot of noise. You are not, if you are a light sleeper, you cannot sleep in this house at night. Like, you know, if you like flush a toilet and then like you'll hear the pipes going afterwards.
Yeah, you'll hear the...
Yeah, it'll happen like maybe 45 minutes later. You'll all of a sudden, no one's used the bathroom, no one's turned on any running water, and all of a sudden all the pipes are going. Or you hear like upstairs, you hear what sounds like footsteps. It might be the cat.
Or the wood readjusting in all the places.
Yeah, like the house just adjusting. And just a lot of fucking noise.
It is just, I can't explain why this place has a built-in band.
It just makes you feel off. But we did have paranormal experiences the next morning.
We did.
When I finally was like, all right, be a tough bitch. You could do this. Bad bitch energy. Let's go. We can fight these ghosts.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
We ain't afraid. But yet I am.
Yet here we are.
Yet here we are. So I got some new equipment for Christmas. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Hello. And I have two S boxes now. I couldn't say that. It was weird. So we decided to throw one on and see if we get any direct responses. I had that going and my Ghost Tube app. Shout out to Ghost Tube. It's made by like paranormal investigators for paranormal investigators. I really like it. It's really easy to use.
Yes, it is. And
they just updated it so you can have a dictionary. Like, so it records like the last 50 or 100 words that you catch on it. So that's really nice. Instead
of just having to screenshot it.
Yeah. So this is what I've been using in my cousin's basement when I'm like downstairs with the kids or whatever. This is what I'm turning on just to see what I catch. And what I always get is a spirit saying, help me. I'm lost. Where am I? But then I get what I'm assuming is a different spirit being like, no, thank you. Leave us alone.
Like very curmudgeon-y.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Actually, we did go in the basement once.
Yeah, we did. This is what the whole defining moment.
This is what kicked everything off.
Yeah, is we went down there to check the blow up bed because we were like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, we'll check it out. Can't be the worst thing in the world. And if I thought it was noisy upstairs, it is noisy downstairs. Downstairs, there's always whirring and stuff like, just like furnace noises and pipe noises and
and you can
humidifier noises.
Everything you can hear on the outside because of the yard and stuff. Like you hear everything.
But we were like, oh, okay, you know, it's like 9 p.m. Probably could start setting up to go ghost hunting because that, you know, what else are we gonna do? I thought I was prepped to stay up for the night anyway because I thought that was what was going on. And
I mean, technically,
we decided to open up the app and just, you know, do some preliminary checking. Yeah,
comments love and light. Just want to see if anyone was open to talking to us, like open up with our whole spiel. And then immediately it was like, no, thank you.
Well, all it said was no. We asked, is there anyone here who would like to talk to us? Or who was trying to communicate? And it was just like, no.
Yeah, just immediately, no. And I was like, ugh.
And we took that as like, okay.
Like, don't mess with me. And I usually...
We'll come back later.
Yeah.
Because that was really immediate. It was probably like seconds.
Yeah, it was like, no. We're like, okay. And then just like, it felt off. It didn't feel right.
It did not feel like a good no or like a pleasant no. It just felt like a no.
Yeah, it was just like, I think we need to go upstairs now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, immediately after we just kind of moseyed on upstairs because that was just... That
wasn't it. Wasn't it, Chief?
That's not what the doctor ordered.
No. So then we had this horrific night of not being able to sleep, super anxiety.
Being irritable.
Very irritable. Like, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. We get up not like early the next morning. Like, well, you never went to sleep. I got up at like 8:30.
Yeah.
After sleeping for like maybe an hour. And we're like, okay, we're up now.
I watched a marathon of Dr. Pimple Popper twice.
Good. So good. Oh, yeah, because they repeat the episodes after like 3.
Yep. Just for me.
So just for you. So let me get up on my phone. Me
and the meth heads up at 4 a.m.
Oh my God. So I get the courage finally because it's daylight and the house is a little more sane. I was like, okay, like, let's let the dog out. Let's eat some breakfast. I brought croissants from Costco. Like, let's start opening up some ghost apps and the S box and my K2 meter.
Let's just check some things out.
Check this out.
See if there's any energy around here.
Let's see what's going on.
Any EMF readings,
Yeah. Now, on the ghost app, we didn't get exactly direct responses, but the S box we did. And the S box is on your notes, I think. Because I have the ones from...
Let me check it out.
I have the ones from the ghost app. So this is what we got. I was just asking, I could come with peace, love, and light. Is anyone here that wants to talk to us? Can you tell me what happened to you? And then it goes, hung. And I go, who was hung? Nancy. Murdered. Hello. Like all back to back to back. And I was like, whoa. I was like, is your name Nancy? And it goes, Jessica. Murdered. I was like, wait, so who was murdered? Like, hold on.
Got a whole slew of names, a whole new cast of characters. We really need to wind this back up.
I've never gotten these names before. And it goes, Jack murdered. Help me. And this is all within like 5-10 minutes. Like, it was all pretty rapid. And then it stopped.
Then it died down after the help me.
Yeah, after that last help me, it just didn't say any, like we weren't getting anything else on the ghost tube. But on the S box.
Yeah, later that night.
So that's the one that it's a radio and it scans through
frequencies and everything.
Yeah, it sweeps through really quickly. So like you're going through maybe two radio stations or like frequencies like a second.
Yeah.
You're going through really quick. So if you're getting full words, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, because it's going through a few different frequencies.
Yeah.
So for the S box, we had gotten twice, I believe.
Oh, yeah. We were asking, is anyone here? We were just asking typical things like, is anyone here? You can tell us your name. And we got the name David.
Dave. We got Dave.
Yes, we got the name Dave. That's right.
We also got Stand and Yes. Across that, while we were scrubbing through the...
the yes, well, to put it into context, the yes was asking if anyone is here. And then when we asked the name, we got Dave.
Okay. You were right. And then after that, we had got a weird song beeping through the S box.
That's right.
While we were scrubbing through the channels.
Yeah, it was really odd.
Like this really weird arrhythmic song coming through. And I was just like,
yeah, it was all in beeps. It wasn't like an instrument or anything. And the last time we had something that weird was at my house, where we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It wasn't even through the S box. It was like out in the open, loud, like weird alien music is the only way I've been able to describe it. So, but it was almost like if Morse code made a song for this time. Like that's the best way I could describe it.
Ah, man, I'm trying to think of a way to describe how it came through, because it was just like a lot of beeps, but it wasn't like
it was
beep, 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 beep. It was just like...
It was very rhythmic. It was very... It was weird. Yeah, I would not... And we weren't thinking. We were just trying to figure out what it was. We should have recorded it. If it ever happens again, I'm going to whip out my phone and be like, bye. I'm going to record this right now.
Next time, we should just automatically record with the S box.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That would make way
more sense. We were a little obviously unprepared after not sleeping all night and me bitching out. So
we were a little bit shook.
Just a little, but like I said, if the energy's off, I'm off. Like I cannot do it. So Chris was like, I'm not staying here another night. I'm going home. I need sleep. And I was like, okay, cool, bye. I still have to stay here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not staying here by myself. That's not happening. So my lovely mother, I was like, listen, you can go sleep in our cousin's bed. It's comfy up there. You have your own TV. I'll stay downstairs with the dog. And she's like, yeah, whatever, cool. So we're hanging out. My mom's also like, we're sitting there and she's been at their house a million times, obviously.
Yeah.
Like she's the backup. If I can't babysit, like she's over there. And so we've been there at night and stuff, but she's never been there late. And I told her, I was like, you know, it gets a little creepy. She's like, you're so paranoid. Like, I'm sure it's fine. She's like, you get scared at our own house. I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, don't judge me. And so we're sitting there and we're watching Dr. Pimple Popper also. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden my mom's just freaked out. She's just like, you're right. It's really creepy here at night. I'm like, I'm telling you. Like,
I told ya.
The noises and everything. And then you have the dog who's like, oh, God, I love him so much. He woke me up at 4 a.m. to go out. And I'm like, okay, you gotta pee, whatever. I let him out. This motherfucker goes to the corner of the fence and stares off into the dark woods and just starts barking and growling. I'm like, oh, hell no. And I'm looking around. I'm like flashing a light trying to see if I see anything.
See any deer or anything.
Yeah, there's a ton of deer and he's always barking at them. I'm like, leave the wood doggos alone. Like, come on. And there's an owl hooting off in the distance. I'm like, I'm not about this right now. It's 4 a.m. I'm gonna die. I was like, no, thank you. And even my mom was like texting me throughout the night. She's like, yeah, no, it's creepy. Like, it's really creepy up here.
Yeah, you guys are telling me. I told you.
Yeah. And
it was bad business.
I would hear footsteps and I'm like, it's just my mom, right? It's just my mom.
There's another person here.
I'd be like, Mom, she's like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Thank goodness.
It's like, thank God. I'd be like, no, thank you. She's like, no, the energy is off. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's really creepy. So like the second night I was able to sleep, thank God. It was a lot easier. I was like, all right. But the next morning, I didn't know because my mom was upstairs. I was downstairs. There is an alarm clock in my cousin's room and it's plugged in and it's on the floor, but it's been broken for years. Like, it hasn't turned on. They just kind of left it there.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, out of sight, out of mind, whatever. 5 o'clock in the morning turns on by itself, waking my mom up. And it's on a religious channel.
Ugh.
Terrifying.
Oh, God,
waking
why?
Up to just all of a sudden just like...
Getting preached at by a
random lady on the radio. My mom was like, what the hell? And somehow she managed to turn it off. Cool. Doesn't turn back on. Can't get it back on. I know. And like literally this is the first time it's come on in years. And at the time, I don't know this even happened. My mom forgets to tell me because it happened at 5 a.m.
True. At that point, you're all startled and just like, what's going on?
She's like, what the hell's going on? And
it's 5 a.m.
So she turns it off, whatever. She goes back to sleep. And so I decide, I'm like, well, I was like, if I'm going to investigate this house truly, I'm going to go upstairs too, not just the first floor like we were on. Had some experiences up there.
Please tell.
So I'm sitting on the bed, petting the cat. I'm hanging out. And I'm like, all right. I was like, is anyone in here with us? And I have my ghost tube on. And all of a sudden, direct response goes, over here. And the cat is like walking slowly with its like back kind of creeped up and like looking around at the corner of the room. And I'm like, weird. So Ghost Tube also has Ghost Tube SLS camera app. So I throw that on. And sure enough, where the cat's going over in the corner, I catch something on it. You catch like one of the figures, like one of the wireframe figures? Yeah, the wireframe figures pops up and there's nothing. It's just there's a dresser over there. There's nothing that would make the shape of what would be a human, like to throw, like to make an anomaly or whatever. Yeah. Like, because sometimes if you have something that's kind of in the shape of a person, it could pick it up as one, but you debunk that. And I was like, are you what I asked? I'm like, oh, is this you? Is this the figure I'm getting on my phone? And it goes, yes. And then it goes quiet for a while. Now I have chills. Yeah. So it goes dead for a while. I'm hanging out with BB, just giving her the snuggles. She's literally on my shoulder. We're hanging. And I go, are you still here? And it goes, hello? And I was like, okay, like, I'm kind of feeling uneasy right now. Like, I come with love and light and peace. Like, do you still want to talk to me? And this is the worst instant message chain ever. And right. And immediately answers back, no. What? Yeah. And then it didn't respond to me again. I waited another 15, 20 minutes. Nothing else happened with me asking questions and stuff. So I was like, okay, like, thanks for your time. I appreciate that, I guess. Yeah, like, gotta go. So that was super freaky. Wow. That's a lot to take, especially because every time it was like within 5 minutes we got answers pretty consistently. Yeah. What is going on underneath there?
or around there.
Yeah,
Or in
like-
the creek.
Yeah, they're literally like a creek behind their house. See, like, and my thing is too, like, because I don't know why. If I'm playing with the kids and stuff, I can just throw it on and like they don't know what's going on. They're playing, and I'm just here in the corner, like throwing stuff to them, being like, "Is anyone down here? Hello, hello," and I get direct responses every single day. And it's always the one that I was most concerned about is the one that's like, "Help me, I'm lost." Every single time, "Help me, I'm lost. Where am I?"
Trying to figure out.
And it says murdered, buried. And I'm like, where were you murdered? Where were you buried? What's your name? And I never get that. So then when we were on the first floor and it's giving me all these names, I was super thrown off. Especially like I had my phone in airplane mode. We had everything else off except for the S box, but we had them in separate parts of the room.
Yeah.
So they're like trying to like keep interference low. So super freaky.
Just not a fan of that one. I really just don't want anything to do with it.
No, it is crazy. So then my cousins, the rest of my time there, it was fine. I was like, you know what? I don't want to stir anything up before they come home. I'm going to give it a rest. Because I think it was a little less active because everyone was gone. I think that was definitely part of it. I think there wasn't as much energy to feed off of because it's just me and my mom now.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I'm going to give it a break. I don't want to stir up anything. I don't want the kids starting to like, I don't want them to have experiences, especially with their kids. Like they pick up on everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to chill out. Whatever. Cousins come home. First night home, go to bed. And I'll probably have Heidi retell this next part to retell it in her own words. But 5 a.m., that stupid radio again turns on by itself. Blast it. And okay, so here's the creepy part. It's a woman like reading a passage about asking for help. Like,
God.
Yeah, and then she's freaking out because like there's woken by this. It's gone full volume.
Full
woman
volume
asking for
like
reading a passage about asking for help. My cousin, he's all sleep deprived and like confused and is trying to slam the stupid alarm clock.
Hammer,
off.
I'm telling you.
And my cousin Heidi, she's just like, just unplug it, and like trying not to wake the baby and everything. And he's just like, well, I can't turn it off. She's like, just unplug it. Oh my god, she called me. She's like, I thought of you this morning. This was so weird. She tells me, and then I tell my mom, and that's when my mom finally goes, oh my god, yeah, that happened to me too the first night I stayed with you. I was like, you didn't tell me this. She's like, no. She's like, it was 5 a.m. I went back to sleep. And as far as to my knowledge, it hasn't come back on since. Like they can't get it to turn back on.
That stupid ass alarm clock. Stupid ass haunted alarm clock.
But like it hasn't been able to get it to work in years.
Why is it turning on now?
Exactly. Like I was like, crap, did I stir something up?
Did you wake it up?
Did I wake it up? Because maybe they're just like, who is this chick? Why does she keep asking if we're okay and if we need help?
Too many questions.
Yeah, not enough answers.
Oh no.
And then I thought I brought it back to my house, the one that I was asking for help, because I threw my app on at my house. And usually if I do get a response on GhostTube at my house, it usually just tells me to leave it alone. It's like, no, thank you. And I'm like, that's fine.
Fair.
Like,
it's polite.
I was like, cool. This time it was like, help me. Buried, murdered again. And then, wait a second. So that happened. And I thought I brought something home. And I was like, no, thank you. So then I decided to do it again at my house. I was like, let me see if I really brought something back, because stuff started happening in my house again. Like, first off, my ghost cat, as always, running back and forth. But I heard talking from my basement again, like coming through the vents, and like the back door, not the back door, but like the door that separates the kitchen from the back porch, unlocked and opened by itself. So I was like, crap, I think I brought something home with me. I'm not really sure. Let me throw on the ghost tube again. There we go. So I opened it up. Oh, where's the beginning? Okay, so I opened it up. Now, if you guys remember, one of the names I got from my cousin's house was Jack. I asked if anyone's here. Got the name Jack. Killed, murdered. Help me. And then I was like, okay, this is not cool. I'm not a fan of this. So then, the next day I tried it again. And I was like, hi, is anyone here? It said, hello. I was like, what's your name? Amanda.
Oh, no.
That gave me chills because that's my middle name. And then it said, I'm lost. No. Killed. And then literally back to back to back, demon, blood, hung.
Sounds like you just brought something back, I think.
Right? That's what it sounded like to me. But like, and I've been home this week, and except for my ghost cat and I left the lights on in the living room last night just because, I don't know, I was like, I'm going to leave the lights on while I sleep because I was home and I was like, it's getting late and I want to see. I don't know. I woke up this morning, the lights were off. Now, granted, I could have totally woken up to pee and turned them off. I have no memory of me turning them off though. So like, can't really call it paranormal, can't really debunk it.
Can't really say it didn't. Huh.
I was real confused because I had made it a point to leave lights on last night. And yeah, I was like, no thanks.
Wow. Oh, Paige, Amanda, what have you gotten yourself into?
I know. Oh, and there was voices coming out of my parents' room. That's what led me to the last time of asking, like, all right, like, let's try again. Did someone come home with me? Just because it was weird. Like, I was just, energy felt off in my house. It didn't feel like the normal, like, Georgia Marie energy in my house. So, I think I brought something back from my cousin's house, question mark.
What?
And I mean, as far as I know, my cousins haven't had anything else since the alarm clock happened.
That we know of.
Yeah, I haven't opened up my ghost app since in their house. I gave it a break. I was like,
I'd rather not.
I was like, I'm good. The littles have done some weird things, like looking off into the unfinished part of the basement and being like, hi. And I'm like, I'm going to just play that off as you just saying hi to me. Like, I don't know what's happening, but.
Yeah, I don't know what you're contacting, but I'm going to pretend that you're talking to me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, they're not scared. No one else is scared. But the dog has been, if we go down to the playroom, the dog has been waiting at the top of the stairs for us now.
Huh.
He waits at the door. Doesn't come down the stairs. I leave it open for him and he just watches over us. Which is not a thing he usually does.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like him at all.
Not for in the house. He like, for outside, he's always with us. But. What's wrong?
Oh, no, I thought I heard something like rubbing against the mic.
Oh, that scared me.
No, we're good.
Oh, man. But yeah, so a little scary, a little disorganized, but that was...
Yeah, a little scary, a little upsetting, a little don't know what to do, but that's okay because, it's 2021 and we're going to keep on moving forward and moving through. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to sage Paige.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to eat a whole bundle of sage. Delicious.
Maybe we'll put it on some French fries or something.
Oh my God.
But I just...
So yeah, it was definitely, the energy was, it's been weird.
Where do you go from here? That's, you feel the weird energy. I feel the weird energy. We've gotten so many responses that are so direct and related, pretty.
Yeah, there's some stuff, like I told my cousins the names that we got. Mm-hmm. None of them sound familiar.
Jessica, Nancy, never heard of them.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know anyone by those names that like have passed or anything or would make sense. I'm thinking, I don't even know. I don't know if like the previous owners, if anyone like.
I've got no idea.
I have nothing.
And I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
We'll have to look into it.
Yeah. So, but that's the part, I guess that's basically part one of
our thrilling adventure and to your cousin's house.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if it was very, I know I've like, how do I say this? I feel like I'm all over the place trying to explain everything just because there's so much that I'm trying to remember to explain. Mm-hmm. So I apologize if I'm a little all over the place today.
A little disorganized.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got it down on this episode.
Oh man, I'm wondering how old their house is. I don't even know if they know. I'm gonna look it up right now as we talk.
I mean, It doesn't seem, it was probably like 60s, 70s. It doesn't seem like it's too old.
Well, see, their basement reminds me a lot of my basement. So I don't know. Like, there's like, I don't even think you even know, like the back cellar, like has like these, like a big room in the back.
Nope.
So like, I don't know. Hold on. I'm looking up on Zillow to see how old their house is. Oh, look, they're year built 1939.
Wow.
So
Holy
it's a lot
crap.
older than we thought.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
1939.
So it's 19 years older than my younger than my house.
Right when Prohibition stopped no. Right when the Great Depression stopped happening. We were gearing up for World War II now. The world was all tense and everything. That's so weird. It doesn't seem like a 1939 house, but I guess.
But a lot of work has gone into it too. A lot of my cousin really worked, like they really worked hard to make this like a house good for their family dynamic. So I don't know. I guess we'll
find out, right?
Yeah. So like I said, my cousin Heidi will be part 2. Hopefully we can wrangle my cousin John in and be like, all right, tell us your ghost stories.
Yeah, give us your side.
And for like a little preface to part 2, Heidi told me if I thought their current house was haunted, she has a ton of stories from her childhood house growing up. She's like, that shit was crazy. And she started to tell me a little bit, and I was like, save it for the pod. Save it for the podcast. Because, oh my God, what she told me, the little snippet she told me, I literally have chills thinking about it right now.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait for everyone to hear it. Oh, I hope everyone is starting off the new year great. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you had a great time at the holidays. I know it's a little harder this year for everyone, but I just hope everyone's healthy and safe and just getting the most they can out of everything right now.
As good as it can be, I guess. But what were those sweet, sweet handles that everyone can get in contact with us? Or even better, what if they wanted to come on the show and join us?
Yes, if you would like to be a guest. If you would like to be a guest on our show, if you would like to submit anything, just literally find us on social media. Instagram is GhostedWCP. Twitter is GWCP_podcast. And then, of course, our email is ghostedwithchrisandpaige@gmail.com.
You can listen to us anywhere. Spotify. We just got added to Pandora, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Deezer. We are a part of and iHeartRadio. So pretty much anywhere where you can get your listening goods for a podcast. So hopefully, if this is your first episode, you enjoy it. You should go back and start from the beginning.
Yeah,
because it's a wild ride.
Yeah, for real. It really has been. It's been great.
So you should definitely check that out, and hopefully we will get you part 2 soon.
Yeah, it'll be within the next coming. I don't know if it'll be our next episode, just depending on, scheduling,
figuring all that out.
But we have some really great things coming up that are in the works right now. So I'm really excited. And possibly including some merch. So keep an eye out for that. I'm so excited.
But anyway, guys, I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. And we will see you the next time on Ghosted with Chris and Paige.
Oh, yeah. Bye, guys. Stay spooky.